Does technology drive innovation or does innovation drive technology?
You know what I've been thinking about?
Oh,
thank you. Okay, that was for me. These guys are
I
all
think
for
one
you.
of them is Rajiv.
No, these guys are all
one of
for
them is
you.
Rajiv. They're not talking to us.
That's only. I totally love you guys, and I really like you guys. Okay, all right.
I
Okay,
think
what
all of
we
you
were
are
saying
great.
was, I think the
Okay.
cool part of it was that we
Yes.
were discussing really interesting things about cars and tech, right? So, what do you think? Is the soul of a car under the hood, or even deeper?
Wait a second. That sounds like something I would say, Rajiv.
Let's exchange personas for today and do exactly the opposite of what we would normally do.
All right, that has some potential, I think. So you're basically saying that the techie becomes the car freak and
Yeah, the techie becomes the gearhead and you take over on the other side. How's that? Good to go?
Good to go. All right, so that's a very special review coming your way then of the Zest from Tata Motors. The latest cars driving into the market, so it's kind of topical, it's hot, it's new, the Zest. So that's what we're going to jump into.
Yes, remember the role reversals.
Whoa. Hey, why did it take you guys such a long time to do a show together?
But have you ever thought of this? It's a great question, though. Why have you and I never done a show
It's
together?
been some years now. I think, yeah, we should have thought of this idea before. Would
Okay,
you
so
watch it?
let's put
Would
this
you
to
watch it?
test.
Yeah, sure.
Let's put this to test. Great question. So would all of you want to see me and Siddharth do a show together? Yes? I think we're going to do a lot of shows
We
together
got to
if
think
that's
about
the
this.
response.
We got to go back and discuss this with some folks back in the office. I
Okay,
think.
done. Absolutely.
What do you look for when you are looking at a new car, Rajiv? I mean, is it just how well the music system is playing Yo-Yo Honey Sing?
Okay, that was a low blow. No to yo-yo, but absolutely yes to this flip. I think it's a great idea. What do you say?
It is a great idea.
Okay,
so,
done? Done, absolutely. So, all yours. You're here.
Switch sides.
Okay, let's go. Now that the roles are reversed, say hello to NDTV's new car expert, Rajiv Makhni.
And an even bigger hello from NDTV's new god of tech, Siddharth Vinayak Patankar.
Yeah, god of tech.
I like the sound of that.
Before we get this show literally on the road,
Literally.
I think we better convince each other that we can actually play to each other's niches. So I'm going to tell you exactly how much I know about cars. I'm going to zoom out and tell you the biggest car expert is finally in the house.
Let's see it.
So Siddharth, challenge is accepted. Watch me transform now to the geek god of the auto world. This, of course, is the car. Let's start with the exterior. So fantastic array of lighting out here. Projector lamp, LED rounds, the fact that it has daylight running lamps for its category, and then the metal sculpting. The shut lines are very clear, no jagged edges out here. Well put together, the sculpting on the side, very interesting. Now this is as unlike a Tata car as I've ever sat in. The plastic, the fitments, everything else coming together well, good quality, nothing clunky about it. Then this double tone interior is interesting, gives you a richer look. The seats, something called rugby shoulder seats. I don't know what that really means, but believe me, they're comfortable, give you good knee support, and they're very well padded. The only thing is, because of this double tone interior, the fact that the glass surface around you is a little lesser, the car tends to look a little small, but believe me, in reality, it's quite roomy. And now let's take a look at the big deal in the car, the heart, the actual soul of the car, which is this engine, the Revotron 1.2T. That's what Tata calls is the big game changer. Now why? It looks like a pretty normal engine, very compact. But the big deal is, for a car in this price point, it has 3 drive modes that you can switch the engine to. Eco, to save a lot of fuel, normal city drive, and of course sports mode. Sports mode in a car like this, does it really work? Well, I'm about to find out. I'm in the car now, driving at city mode, which is normal. Let's move to eco mode. Same acceleration, the car slowed down. It's more sluggish, but the fuel economy is looking great. Now for sports mode. Okay, immediately you can feel the car rev. The thrust is much more. This is pretty interesting. All 3 modes actually work. And that, as you may have noticed, is someone who really knows what he's talking about.
That's not bad, Rajiv. But you know what? I'm going to show you that my technology quotient is much higher than your carnal knowledge. Let's take a look. So I can't talk too much about how the car performs because Rajiv's already hijacked that and told you about it. But I was very curious about the 1.2 Revitron engine, I have to say. You know, the diesel engine is a derivative of the older one. This is all new, and so he's told you about the 3 modes, etc. Again, I won't get into that part of the technology, but there's plenty going on inside as well in terms of the gadgetry on board. That is something I will tell you about. Okay, most of the goodies are only on the XT variant, that's the top variant. So it's the central console which is the nerve center of everything. The system has been done by Harman Kardon, which is surprising in this particular segment, right? It's usually the high-end cars that have that. The touch screen lets you operate everything. It is fairly good in terms of its interface. You can also use voice commands. So there's a little switch up here, just press that. Fan speed 4.
Setting fan speed to 4.
As easy as that, but for now I can also manually reduce it too. You also have an SD card slot here, lets you play music, lets you use it for JPEGs, videos, whatever. The same screen works for that too. You can also pair up to 10 devices at a time, and the good part is that you can actually use multiple devices at the same time. So you can use one for music and you could use the other one to make a call. Let's do that in fact. Let's call up Rajiv and see what's happening back in the studio. Call Rajiv.
The person you're trying to reach is speaking to someone else. You could wait or call again later.
He's always on the phone. Well, I guess I'll have to just get back to the studio and then catch up with him.
The system supports both Android 4.4.4 and the latest iOS 7. Voice and other commands take some getting used to, but the touchscreen interface works very well.
All right, Rajiv, so Gadget Guru 2.0. I think so.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give this much to you. That was pretty good. In fact, I thought you didn't know the difference between a flash drive and a flashlight, so I'm convinced about you.
All right, I'm not so sure about you.
I have a question. Before you guys get into horsepower, RPM, UNICEF, and all such complicated abbreviations, I just want to know one specific thing. Is this a good-looking car?
Yeah, good question, especially the UNICEF part. I mean, what is your UNICEF rating on this?
It's blue like the UN logo, so I think it's high. But, you know, I have to ask you that. Do you think it's a good-looking car?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Rajiv?
No, I think for the price point and the
Is it better looking than you,
I think it's looking great, and I think the blue is really looking cool.
It's good to see that there's been some work put in by the styling department. Pratap Bose, who heads it up for Tata, has done something new, and at least it points to a different direction.
Also,
Maybe
it's been well put together, the bits and pieces, as you guys say in your, I say in my car show.
Yeah.
Very well put together. What is it called? The clotheslines?
Shut lines.
The shut lines.
Almost
there. Almost. See, I'm learning, okay? Very well put together, at least in those terms, right?
Yep, absolutely. I think it's good to see that kind of progress coming from Tata Motors in particular. All right, so that was a very innovative and very different way of bringing you a review of the latest baby from Tata Motors. Did you guys like that? Did you have a good time with that?
So, you know, it felt like maybe like Batman and Superman exchanged their powers for the day. So, is that what you felt too?
I'll always be your kryptonite, Rajiv. Always.
Who is kryptonite? Superman's girlfriend, right?
Well, you know what? I think it's best that you don't say anything more now. And
Okay.
let's just wrap this up.
I should, yes.
And
I think
thank you,
that's the
though. Thank you for being here and doing this with us as well.
I know. Awesome. And call me back. Remember the Car and Bike and Rajiv show. And on that note, thank you.
Thank you all.